The Black Dragon Guild raids on the 40th floor of the tower. But they face another defeat and become the subject of mockery for everyone. A handsome man appears on the scene, having attracted all the news reporters. Flame Emperor is the #1 ranked hunter who defeats the boss by himself. The news reporter starts asking him questions, but he pays no attention. He becomes angry at a question and grabs the mic. He said, "Cannot you stop calling me by that shitty nickname? I have a proper name." He dislikes his nickname name Flame Emperor and feels embarrassed, but he wants them to call him Flame Retard. On the other hand, our protagonist Gongja Kim was watching him on his laptop. Kim feels frustrated as he cannot enjoy his life like Flame Emperor. He reads the comments, where Flame Emperor's fans were discussing his personal life. Some want to become like him, and even some want to date him. In all of this, Kim feels low, because he also wants to be like Flame Emperor. He also wrote this in the comments. That is because people pay attention to his words, and he is said to be rich. It feels like the world is a novel, then Flame Emperor would be the main character, and Kim is just a side character. What a poor soul. Then it is revealed that Flame Emperor awakens his S-ranked skill in his early 20s and defeats the boss that couldn't be cleared for 10 years in 1 month. In the end, the Flame Emperor advised the new hunters to pay attention to become successful hunter and warns them not to start beef with him or they will die when he leaves. Kim was furious as Flame Emperor did not explain how to succeed. Kim's room was full of his poster and he questioned his arrogance. He complains about his life and that if he had a talent like Flame Emperor, then he may not have suffered a life of misery, and people don't call him an F-ranked hunter. He expresses his anger on his poster and wishes to become a hunter like Flame Emperor. As he was crying over his life, we witnessed a bright light over his head. A golden skill card appears. Looks like his wish has been granted. A screen pops up and informs him that the tower is astounded by his envy, and grants him a skill. Tears fall from his face, but he finds it different from the skill awakening he saw in other videos. This was the moment he wished for, and moved to grab the card. Another screen pops up and reveals that his skill will be activated once he is killed. He can copy the skill of his killer. He can copy the skill and kill his enemy. This revolution leaves him somehow bewildered. In the end, he had to die to accomplish that skill. He screams and calls that skill pathetic. The tower suddenly appears in the world and can be seen from anywhere on the horizon. Those who had nothing to lose were the first to step inside the tower. Each floor of the tower was filled with monsters from another world. Tower granted some of the visitors with skills to fight with monsters. Those who heard the news gathered in the tower and began hunting monsters. One of them was Flame Emperor fighting and defeating monsters, skillfully. A man on TV explains that when saw him first he was holding a flaming spear and looked like he was dancing. Moreover, he said he looks like Nataraja. Kim asked the manager to change the channel, but he replied, "Why? It's just getting good." Further, he asked, "Didn't you like Flame Emperor?" But Kim was lost in sorrow. He told the manager that he got an S+ skill yesterday and started cursing his fate as he had to die to get that skill. Moreover, he did not report this to hunter associations because he feels ashamed of his skill and does not want to tell anyone about this. Then he gets up and moves back to his home. On the way, a screen pops up informing the ranks where Flame Emperor is on top of the list. He felt dizzy, and his head was about to shatter. Suddenly he heard a familiar voice and was surprised. He sneaks to look and finds the Flame Emperor in an alleyway harassing the Saintess, his girlfriend. He told her if someone is watching them, he may think she is the victim. Then he reveals that he poisoned her drink with blackish stomach acid, and he knows she was planning to feed him with this. He leaned over her and threw the poison bottle away. To clear her name, she said she just wanted to raid the tower with him as a team. The Flame Emperor also wanted to raid the tower with her, but he was wrong. She wanted to harm him. Kim stood in the corner, covering his mouth with his hand, and 1,000 questions lingered in his mind, but he was astonished. Flame Emperor grabs her by the neck and informs her that he will decide the rule of conversation among them. Kim was observing this struggle between the Flame Emperor and Saintess. Flame Emperor told her to nod her head to answer his question. He told her not to lie as he has a lie detection skill and warned her about this, and if she proves herself honest, he will reward her with the antidote. Kim was observing as he asked her about the culprit behind all of this. He asks if the witch from the Black Dragon Guild ordered her to do so. Saintess was ashamed and nodded her head in yes. He activated his skill and respond. This kind of person is the hero that humanity needs right now. Then he said farewell to Saintess Isabel and killed her in front of frightened Kim. He cannot believe a hero like Flame Emperor has this dark side, and fear grips him. A monster like him cannot be a hero to humanity's needs. Kim was frightened and ran away from the scene, but he accidentally steps on the broken glass bottle which attracts the hero. Hero looks at him with intent to kill him and said, "I thought I got rid of all the rats nearby, but there was one left over." Frightened and astonished, Kim freezes on the spot as the hero approaches him. He contemplates that Saintess was not his first victim, and he may have killed a few dozen, a few hundred, or even more than he expected. Suddenly he falls as the hero cuts his feet. He begs the hero to spare his life, but the hero moves toward him ready to kill him. He asks Kim if he witnessed anything with a scary smile on his face. Tears on their face, and he was scared enough. He said, "I saw nothing." His voice was shivering. Hero moves closer to him and asks, "What did not you see?" Hero grabbed him by the neck and told him he was in the wrong place, and if he was a bit fool, then he may believe him. Kim responded that he would not tell anyone about this. But Hero was not convinced and forced him to answer properly. He asks if the Black Dragon sent him to check on him. Kim, unable to move, responded that he heard him, and nothing else. "You have the lie detection skill. If I told you a lie, you can detect it." The Kim said he killed Saintess on a little suspicion. His words make the hero angry, and he throws him away. Then the hero said she wanted to kill him, and if he did not kill her first, she might poison him. But Kim asked how he could know this. The hero responds that he has his ways to find the truth. Then he pretends to believe in his innocence as Kim trusts his lie detection skill. Kim thanks him. But as Kim has seen too much of a hero, he decides to kill Kim. His hand starts glowing as he moves to kill him and reveal his name Yusu-ha before saying farewell to Kim. In his last moment, Kim remembered once a mysterious person told him that since his name was Gong-ja, he should be someone as great as Confucius. He doesn't want to die, but a window pops up informing him that he has died. He was contemplating his death when another window popped up revealing that the condition for his skill had been fulfilled by his death. Now he can pick a random skill from Yusu-ha. The window starts preparing the skill card for him, but Kim was still contemplating that he should have lived more. The pop-up asked him to select a skill, and he grabbed a skill card and copied the skill. Suddenly he finds himself back in time when the Black Dragon is defeated on the 40th floor. He was astounded to find himself safe and sound. He was amazed to see the news of the Flame Emperor raid and killing the boss. Kim was bewildered and surprised. He was unaware of how he returned home. All the incidents from his past repeat. A moment ago he was killed, and now he is back in yesterday. He moves his hand forward, and a skill card appears in front of him. The skill card revealed that he had copied the skill of his enemy who killed him. This revolution shocked him, and he questioned himself. Did I copy the skill of Flame Emperor? Moreover, it's revealed that he is returned 24 hours in time after his death, and his memory and experience points are preserved. Also, greater his rank, the greater be penalty. He starts contemplating his return and the death of Saintess. He gets angry as he was killed too, even though he was innocent. Kim gets determined to kill the hero this time as he grabs his skill card. Suddenly his attention diverts toward a commotion outside as a fire erupts. He gets outside to see people running toward the fire with water and fire extinguishers to control the fire. He observes the outside world is different from the place where he lives. The fire erupted on floor 1 of the tower. Kim also runs toward the tower and checks the time on his mobile. He finds the time the same as when he was drunk and thinks maybe the Flame Emperor started the fire to remove the evidence of his murder. All the individuals with water abilities start working together. Black Witch, rank 2, and the Master of the Guild announces that the Black Dragon Guild temporarily takes the command to control the fire. Master Alchemist, rank 5, and Head of Healers were present there to inform Black Witch that the area has been secured, but there might be a supervisor inside, and they should send a rescue team inside. Crusader, rank 10, leader of the city's vigilante corps. Paladin informs that it's not a problem, and the area has been isolated for 5 years. On the other hand, We get to know that the city has different names like Babylon, Floor City, and City of Ascension. As all were busy controlling the fire, Kim heard something fishy. The master alchemist asked Crusader. The saintess had not arrived on the spot yet. He replied that he saw her with Flame Emperor a lot, and maybe she had a date with him. Master alchemist shows disgust for Flame Emperor. Suddenly, Flame Emperor appeared on the spot and asked them what would be the reward for stopping the fire. Kim, full of anger, knows that he started the fire, and now he wants the reward for his bad deeds. Everyone there starts cheering him, but Kim knows his reality and is unable to do anything. Flame Emperor returns as he refuses to do charity work. No one knows the truth about Flame Emperor and his murder counts, but Kim is the only one who knows him properly. Kim makes up his mind to kill him and moves forward with a knife in his hand with the intent to kill Flame Emperor while everyone is gazing at him. But in a sudden twist, he runs into fire thinking of another way to kill him. He died and wakes up again 24 hours back in time. A pop-up informs him that he is now an F-rank hunter and has no penalty. He found that he could not kill him in this form, and if he somehow managed to kill Flame Emperor, he would also return 24 hours in time since he possessed the same power. As he was thinking of a way to kill him, he watched his interview where he explains that his skill was awakened when he was 21 years old. So he calculates the days from the present day and decides to kill himself 450 times to return to the past, a day before his skill awakens. He starts killing himself and traveling to the past. Despite the pain he is enduring, he continues to kill himself to reach his goal. Finally, he reaches the time before the Flame Emperor's skill awakens. He grabbed his knife and revealed that he died 30 times more than planned. It includes the time he required to kill himself and taking breaks here and there. He gets up and heads toward his first prey. He reaches the building where Flame Emperor lives. Flame Emperor wakes up and feels dizzy as his head hurts like hell. We then learn that Kim already repeats this incident 9 times to observe each move of his prey. He notices that he always wakes up at 9 a.m. in F-ranked dormitory and heads toward the tower. He catches the slime on the 2nd floor, and he is bored and envious of killing slimes all day. He complains about life and wants to live a life like a sword saint. Kim observes him and finds a similarity between him and his life, as both strive to get a golden ticket at this age. Kim mutters that he can get a golden ticket in short, but Kim will not let this happen. In the evening, Flame Emperor head toward the 6th floor, where he will be alone for the next 36 minutes. Kim makes his entry as a needy and poor hunter and asks him for help. The Flame Emperor was angry as he could not complete his daily quota because Kim already killed a monster on the 6th floor. He demands money in exchange for the potion. His hunt has been ruined by Kim, so he doesn't want to give his precious potion for free. He reveals the price of the potion is 20 gold coins at Alchemy Castle. Kim agreed to give him the price, but here is a twist. Flame Emperor demands the double the price of the potion, as Kim is on the verge of death. But he refused to take 40 gold coins, and now he wants all the coins he has. He snatches his wallet and pushes him away. He finds 60 gold coins there and taunts him to carry more. After getting coins, he starts moving away. When Kim demands the potion, he refuses to give him the potion. Instead, he doesn't want anyone to come after him for revenge, and he wants to live a life without worries. So he decides to kill Kim. Flame Emperor grabs an arrow to kill him, but he retaliates by punching him in the guts. Kim takes out his knife and kills the Flame Emperor. Kim wants to eliminate him properly, so he strikes him again and again until he dies. As he turns after killing Flame Emperor, he sees a pack of red wolves who want to eat his dead body, and Kim allows them as he has done him now. Kim changes his shirt and heads toward the 1st floor and encounters Vigilante Corpse, but he pretends to ignore him and moves away. Later, Kim was enjoying himself in a bar as Flame Emperor was no more. He checked his skills and found he was missing combat skills. He feels greedy, but wants to know more about his skills. He contemplates that he can win a merchant guild sang Ryan lottery, or he can sell the methods to clear the upper floor that has not been discovered yet. He was thinking about what should he do next when an old man entered the bar and asked him for milk. He demands to mix some honey and drinks in warm milk. Kim replied he was not the bartender and didn't recognize him. People at the bar were shocked by his presence. We then learned that the old man was none other than Sword Saint, and Kim was shocked at what is he doing here. His real name is Marcus Canterbury, and he disappeared 11 days ago in the future where Kim belongs. People started thinking it may be the worst chaos in the hunter industry. A lot of people forgot him after Flame Emperor became popular, but he was the no-one hunter of his time. Kim guesses that Sword Saint must have some S-ranked combat skills and curses his useless skills. Suddenly he realizes he can get any skill from any hunter using his S+ skill. He checks his mobile to get information about Sword Saint's skills, but all he found was some rumors. Nothing was authentic. Suddenly Sword Saint starts talking loudly, which scares him. But Kim finds a rumor true as he starts talking to himself. A comment shocked him and warned about not to talk about his grandchildren in front of him. Once Sword Saint was hunting on the 9th floor, and some high-ranked hunter started fighting with him. The hunter starts disrespecting his grandchildren, so he killed the hunters on the spot in anger. Suddenly Sword Saints get up from his chair and leave the bar. Authors become happy as he leaves because he always created his problems for them. Kim also paid the charges and left the bar. Outside he starts looking for the #1 rank hunter, the Sword Saint. He looks around and after finding him he starts following him. Since Flame Emperor has such amazing skills, he starts thinking about the Sword Saint's skills as he follows him. He follows Sword Saint to a quiet location, and he mutters about skills he can get from him. Suddenly Sword Saint calls him out, and Kim is shocked as Sword Saint knows his location. He pretends he is a poor guy and requests a favor. But Sword Saint knows Kim is following him and asks him why he is asking for a favor from an old man like him. Kim is unarmed and reveals that he purposely reveals himself. As the Sword Saint draws his sword, he is unaware of why he wants to kill him as he does nothing except follow him. Kim looks scared, but inside he congratulates him as he can now die without insulting his grandchildren. Kim was pretending as if he was just following him and did nothing. But Sword Saint reveals no one can fool his eyes. Sword Saint was proud of his looks as no one could judge him as an assassin. He told him to shut up. Then he reveals a shocking revelation that among his S-ranked skills, he has a great skill that allows him to see how many people one has murdered. He was shocked as he thought Sword Saint could see one kill on his head. He killed an innocent and now he has no excuse to prove his innocence. He starts explaining the reason for killing Flame Emperor, but Sword Saint doesn't care about anything and disgusts him. Another twist occurs as the Sword Saint calls him the devil who killed countless people. Sword Saint did not live an honest life, but he did not kill countless people like Kim. Kim was frightened and told him that he killed only one person in his life. But the Sword Saint doesn't believe him and calls him a shameless liar. He then reveals that Kim has killed 4,091 people, and the numbers are visible above his head. Kim then realizes that he also killed himself 4,090 times. He asks Kim about the Black Witch, but he got scared and started running away. Now Kim is aware that Sword Saint has that skill, so whenever they stumble, Sword Saint will always try to kill him. Kim tries to run away, but Sword Saint catches up to him. Kim falls to the ground as he stumbles through a stone. Sword Saint was about to kill him, but suddenly he started talking to himself again. There is another twist. Sword Saint was using telepathy to contact someone. The voice wants to interrogate Kim, but the Sword Saint warns the voice not to interfere in his matters. This revolution shocks Kim, as now he believes that the rumors about this skill are true. Kim was terrified as he thought Sword Saint might be sharing information about him with others. He may become a wanted man in the eyes of hunter associations, and big guilds and high-ranked bounty hunters will hunt him down soon, until they eliminate him publicly on the worst floor of the tower. He cannot let this happen, and he did something unexpected. He gets up on his feet and addresses to Sword Saint. Sword Saint was still busy with the voice, telling him not to bother him, and we learned that Sword Saint was talking with his teacher. Kim remembers the warning and asks Sword Saint about his grandchildren. Further, he told him that he knew Sword Saint belonged to a nice family in Europe and asked about the condition of his grandchildren there. Kim also threatens him about the dangerous world if people find out that Sword Saint is their grandfather. But before Kim can complete his sentence, Sword Saint beheaded him. He was so fast that Kim was unable to see his sword strike and wished to be like him. He died and a pop-up started creating skill cards for him. He was happy as now he could have the skills of 2 #1 ranked hunters, and started looking for the golden ticket. But sadness covers him as he finds no golden ticket there. He doubts that Sword Saint doesn't possess any S-ranked skill, but he achieved all this without any S-rank skill. He was envious and found 3 bronze and 4 silver cards and hoped to get a better skill. He grabs one of the silver cards and returns 24 hours in time. He opened the status window and found an A+ skill. He was happy that he got an A+ skill, but there is another twist. He heard a voice complaining about noise in the middle of the night. Kim excused him and we saw a red-haired man there lying beside the Kim. Kim was shocked to see him and the guy was shocked that Kim could see and hear him. He complained about the small size of his room and asked him where is Marcus. Kim asks if he is talking about the Sword Saint. He replied yes, but revealed that the title Sword Saint does not belong to a beginner like him. Kim was shocked as he called the sword guy a beginner. A pop-up then reveals that the guy is a spirit, belongs to another world, and cleared the 99 floors of the tower in his world, but he fails at the 100th floor. Unable to give up on his desire, he becomes spirit. Now he cannot harm anyone here, but the card holder can communicate with him and can ask him for advice. Only the card holder can see him. Kim reveals that he accidentally cloned him. He screamed and told Kim to return him to Sword Saint immediately. The guy told him to reverse his skill, but Kim revealed he doesn't know how to do this. The guy curses Sword Saint as he is kidnapped by a loser like Kim. Further, he starts complaining about Sword Saint's bad behavior with him, and we learned Sword Saint never talks to himself. He always talks with him. Kim was upset about the skill, and now he has to hide the guy from Sword Saint. But the guy said Sword Saint is a good person until you talk about his grandkids. They start talking about Sword Saint's skills like the eye of a detective, which allows him to see a number of kills above their heads. Kim revealed his kill count and the guy was shocked. He thought Kim was crazy. Asked him why he killed so many people. Kim revealed that he killed himself 491 times to return from the future, and informed him how he got all the skills in his journey. From future to past, he even called himself immortal. The guy was shocked as he killed himself 90 times just to kill one hunter. As the guy knows everything now, he asks him why he decided to steal Sword Saint's skills. Kim replied that Sword Saint is the #1 hunter, and it would be easy for him to get stronger by copying the skills of stronger people. As no one other than Kim can see him, he told Kim not to worry. He then told Kim to stand up, and he complied with him. He told him that he wanted to see him hunting monsters, and they headed toward the tower. Kim easily hunts some slimes there. Then the guy reveals his name as Sword Emperor, and tells Kim about his past. Sword Emperor was born in a different world, and he cleared the tower quickly. Kim doubts him as Flame Emperor becomes a legend after clearing the 40th floor, but this crazy man cleared 99 floors. But Sword Emperor reveals that Kim can gauge talent at a glance, once he gets to his level. That's why he wants to observe Kim hunting. According to Kim, Sword Emperor has wasted his time as Kim has no talent. Sword Emperor makes fun of Kim and his moves, but he has a special talent as he is not afraid of death. Further, he reveals that people protect them while fighting, but Kim doesn't have that instinct at all. And he developed that talent when he was killing himself to reach past, and Kim was shocked that he had a talent like this. Sword Emperor reveals anyone can get talent at any time in their life, but the hardest talent is to transcend the fear of death. Kim was amazed as no one ever informed him about his talent. The Sword Emperor asked if he could copy and not steal. Then Marcus would have a copy of him as his guardian spirit. Sword Emperor decides to help Kim to stand toe-to-toe with Marcus, but he will not help him to reign on top of him, and Kim happily agreed to him. The next day, Sword Emperor starts shouting at him. He told him that Marcus may be clearing the 10th floor and Kim is sleeping. He then starts singing songs from his homeland and informs Kim about the time. When Kim checks his mobile for time, he gets angry. Kim's anger increased as it was just 4 a.m. But Sword Emperor called him weaker than a bug and criticized him for his inability to sleep. Kim realizes why Sword Saint starts training in the morning, because he may get annoyed by Sword Emperor, and Sword Emperor gets angry upon hearing this. Kim wants to kill Sword Emperor, but he reveals he is already dead, and if Kim has a problem with him, Kim should kill himself. But he taunts Kim that he cannot die as he is a zombie, and names him a zombie. Kim starts his training, but the Sword Emperor again taunts him about his physical condition, as he can only learn basics. It's been 4 days since he copied the skill of Marcus and avoided him as much he could. In terms of potential, Kim is like a bottomless black hole, and Sword Emperor teases him about his condition. He then told Kim to try winning some lottery and then head toward a guild named Sangruyan. Their official name is M Merchants Union, and their master is a rank 3 hunter woman, Countess. She is the only one who possesses the skill that allows anyone to trade with the outside world. Due to this skill, Sangruyan Guild has a monopoly on the tower economy. An employee welcomes them, and Kim gives him a lottery ticket. As Kim was talking with the employee, Sword Emperor asked Kim why they always wear cat ears, and Kim revealed that their guildmaster is a cat lady. She is so obsessed with cats that she makes people wear cat ears. The employee told him to check the date as they don't redeem a lottery ticket older than 2 years, and Kim reveals he bought it 2 weeks ago. The Sword Emperor told Kim he needed a starting capital, so he needed to win a lottery once. The employee checks the lottery that Kim gives him. The employee was shocked as Kim had won the first prize of 53,000 gold coins. Everyone looks at him in shock. The employee turns to contact the manager, and Sword Emperor scares Kim that what if he gets robbed in an alleyway or something else happens to him. The manager arrives and reveals his name as Arthur Taylor. He invites Kim to the upper floor. On the way, he was busy in conversation with Sword Emperor like Marcus, so the manager asks him if everything is okay. Kim replies there is nothing to be worried about, and the manager treats him so well that Kim thinks the manager may be an angel, and Sword Emperor looks at Kim to how easily he can be convinced. The manager then shows him the winning amount of 53,000 gold coins. The manager told him that he could take his money with him, or he could leave it here in Sangruyan's safe. He prefers to keep money in Sangruyan's safe, as it's just a small step toward his journey to become a rank 1 hunter. Kim decides to buy the Sangruyan's honorary member title, and the manager tells him that it will cost 1,000 gold coins, and Kim pays for it. The manager asks Kim if he has joined another guild. Sword Emperor praises Kim and calls him smart. As the guild is not a group of friends only, they protect each other. According to Kim, city is full of wild people, like the Flame Emperor and Sword Saint who killed him recently. Flame Emperor never joins a guild because of his attitude and wins the lottery twice, but never pays a protection fee. This is the reason he was about to get poisoned. Kim told the manager to conceal his identity as the first place lottery winner, and ask for a better place to stay, as he lives in a small room. Kim was happy, and now he wants to enjoy his money. Later, Sword Emperor told him he could scroll books to get a good teacher, or he could get some potion. But at his level, he cannot learn something by scrolling, so he is left with the option of potions. Sword Emperor told him about Alchemist Castle, where he could get the best potion, but Kim complained about the higher prices. And when Sword Emperor whispers in his ear, we learn Kim can only buy 4 bottles with his whole money, and they start running to get the potion. But suddenly Sword Emperor stops and tells KM to hide, as he forgot to tell him that Marcus is also heading toward Alchemist Castle to get potions. Kim hides behind a trash can as Marcus passes by. Sword Emperor reveals if Marcus is here, he may buy all the potions, so they quickly run toward the Alchemist's castle. But it was too late, as Marcus was on the doorstep of the best store in the city. So Kim decides not to spend too much money to buy potions. Kim told him they could buy that potion at a cheap price, as he knew a good alchemist, and they headed toward the slum area. Sword Emperor complains about the decency of alchemists as they go deeper into the slums. But Kim reassures him that an alchemist like him is born once in a generation. As Kim reached there, we saw the master alchemist pleading with someone who was taking custody of her equipment, as she was unable to pay rent, and everyone, including Kim, was looking at her. The man takes her equipment and potion with him, and people present their complaints about the price she charged for her potions. She reveals she barely made a profit off of them, and they cannot get a quality like that from anywhere. But peoples do not believe her and walks away. Kim approaches her and requests her to make an expensive potion for him, and she happily informs Kim that she can make anything he wants, and asks him about the price. When Kim reveals he wants the potion of 2,000 gold coins, she is shocked, as she never expected this much money. Kim told her that he wanted to become her #1 customer. She invites Kim inside her house, and it looks quite messy. Kim was shocked, and it looked like sanitary to Sword Emperor, and he asked Kim if he wanted potion from her. She again confirmed the order from Kim, as the amount was too big for her. He offers her advance, and she reluctantly agrees to get advance payment. So Kim told her to get as much as she needed from his safe. She asks him about the type of potion and reveals she will not make any drug for him. She follows the rules and does not hesitate to refuse that much amount even in this state. She gets relieved as Kim tells her not to make drugs for him. Sword Emperor was still not convinced, but he told Kim the ingredients and he informed Master Alchemist about the ingredients. He further informs Kim that the procedure to make a potion depends on the skill of the alchemist. This ingredient should be mixed to make a potion that will increase his reaction time. Master Alchemist looks confused at first, but then she explains how she is going to make that potion. Kim asks her time to prepare the potion, and she asks for 4 days to make that potion. She can make it sooner, but she needs to buy her equipment. Kim remembers in the future, he waited for 18 months to get an appointment with her, but never got a chance. At present, Kim agrees to her and leaves. On the way back, Sword Emperor informs Kim that he is not impressed by her, but Kim asks him about the recipe of the potion, and he reveals that he conjured this recipe himself. Kim then reveals that she will become the head of alchemists in the future, and she also recognizes the value of a recipe and complimented it. 4 days later, she comes to him with a potion. She hands him 3 boxes with 30 potions in each box. Out of curiosity, she asks him why he chose an unknown alchemist like her, and Kim told her that according to him she was a genius. Moreover, he explained she looked kind, and that she would have been successful without him. He moves his hand toward her and invites her to become a great hunter with him in a world full of hunters like Flame Emperor, and she agrees with him. The next day, Kim reaches the 3rd floor of the tower. Kim looks at the number of monsters there and gets scared. But the Sword Emperor guides him to use the potion first. As Kim drinks the potion, he feels uncomfortable, and his body goes under changes. And finally, Sword Emperor is impressed by her skills. Kim feels like his head is going to explode even though he can count the number of hairs on his head. His heart starts beating fast, and he can now feel the aura. He was dealing with the effect of the potion when a monster tried to attack him from behind, and the Sword Emperor told him to run. As Kim starts running, Sword Emperor taunts him that if he cannot face a monster, he should kill himself, but it will only increase his kill count. Kim finally utilizes his skill, and monster speed reduces for him, but Kim chooses to run. Sword Emperor was motivating him continuously as he ran away. Aura was running through his veins, but he was unable to use it. Kim finally takes a step, but it was harder than expected for him. Sword Emperor tried every possible way to motivate him, but Kim was scared and continued running. He musters up some courage and decides to face the monster. Kim dodges the attack of the monster. He draws off his knife and strikes in the heart of the monster. Sword Emperor guides him to focus his aura on the edge of his blade, which is hard for Kim. He follows the advice, pours the aura into the tip of the sword, and kills the monster. Sword Emperor starts teasing him, and they get into an argument. Kim was too tired, but suddenly another monster appeared behind him and killed him. Sword Emperor is shocked to see Kim in such a place, and Kim reveals that he stays here every time he dies. Unexpectedly, the window starts preparing skill cards, which shocks both of them as they never expect that a monster can have a skill. Sword Emperor was envious as a loser like Kim has such a legendary skill, but Sword Emperor does not. Kim chooses a random card, but Sword Emperor says he should choose a better skill. So Kim explains he can only see the ranks of cards, and it all depends on his luck and which skill he chooses. But the Sword Emperor reveals he can see the skills on these cards, which shocks Kim. Kim screams in happiness, as now he can select any better skill with the help of the Sword Emperor. Sword Emperor got scared, and Kim asked him which card had a better skill. Sword Emperor starts reading the skills. Number 1 was the Blessing of Reproduction, which is why they never end. The second skill was some random words used by the race of monsters after every sentence. That is why Sword Emperor stops him from selecting a random pathetic skill like that. So Kim makes his decision and grabs the skill card to copy the skill. Kim wakes up, and we see the Sword Emperor is angry about his selection of skill. We then learn Kim selected the second skill instead of the skill Blessing of Reproduction. They head toward the tower where the Sword Emperor informs him that he will teach achieving aura in just half a year. They head to the 3rd floor of the tower. There Kim takes the potion and gets ready to fight the monster. He takes off his knife and heads toward the monster. He uses his skill and says the word Tchweek that shocks the monster. Kim gets this opportunity and kills the monster in one hit. Sword Emperor was angry as Kim tricks a poor monster, and they moved forward to the 4th floor. 1 week later, Kim faces off with the boss on the 5th floor, the Goblin King. He activated his skill and said Gorok loudly. He uses the skill, High Society Goblin, which shocks the Goblin King, and the Goblin King is shocked how someone other than him can speak the language of a king so perfectly. But before the Goblin King can make a move, Kim killed him. He said the Goblin King was the strongest monster among those he had faced last week. Kim praises the Goblin King, but the Sword Emperor criticizes him for being so emotional. Kim and the Sword Emperor were busy in an argument when a window popped up and informed Kim that his level was upgraded, and we see him up-leveling as a red aura surrounds Kim. His skill slot expands, and now he becomes an E-rank hunter. At night, we saw a mysterious person standing near a lake gazing at the moon. It was Marcus, who was lost in the forest, and he didn't want to die, so crawled to the top of a mountain. The moon in the sky was a very beautiful moment, and according to Marcus, it was an astonishing scene. We then learned that Kim has cleared the 5th floor, and the Sword Emperor told him to move to the 6th floor. But Kim wants to raid the 10th floor boss directly. This angers the Sword Emperor, and he calls Kim overconfident and newbie. Sword Emperor told him about the 10th floor's toughness, but Kim said if he failed to clear the 10th floor in 2 attempts, he would accept Sword Emperor as his master. Sword Emperor told him the reality that he cleared the 6th floor on the 7th attempt, and he is not interested in bets. But Kim said he has one condition. Sword Emperor has to inform him about the skill of the 10th floor boss. The Sword Emperor agrees with Kim, and Kim says if he wins, the Sword Emperor has to call him by his name. Sword Emperor gets angry, but he agrees to the condition that Kim cannot die, so he has to call him Master for eternity. As both were engaged in conversation, hunters nearby found Kim weird as they could not see Sword Emperor. They found a Crusader standing in front of the door to the 10th floor who stopped them. Kim and the Sword Emperor are amazed and ask him why they cannot enter the 10th floor. Crusader reveals entering the 10th floor with no partner is a suicide mission. He reveals that the Black Dragon Guild, with 34 other hunters, raids, but fails. Kim was disappointed and told him the rules that anyone can raid the floor, but the Crusader told him that he has to keep the record of hunters, and his superior always checks the record. He cannot allow anyone to enter the floor alone, as it is a suicide mission. With one other choice left, Kim made the story that he has an illness and will die sooner, so he prefers to die in the field instead of a bed in a hospital. Crusader becomes emotional, and Kim hands him some coins and reveals he saved them for his treatment. Crusader refuses to take the coins, but Kim convinces him that he does not want to leave anything behind and requests him to not enter his name in the records. Crusader was so emotional that he let Kim enter the 10th floor. Sword Emperor was shocked after seeing Kim convincing the Crusader so easily. They finally reach at 10th floor and stand in front of a tall building. The moves toward the building, and Kim reveals that Flame Emperor cleared this floor in the future. They open the large door and darkness welcomes them. They found several kids inside the building standing in front of them. The kids look scary and a fire erupts, and the kids start asking Kim to play with them. The kids name several games and agree to play hide and seek. A pop-up informs Kim about the game. Kim confidently ages to play hide and seek with kids in the building. As the story unfolds, we learn Black Dragon Guild is the strongest guild, but they fail to clear the 10th floor after trying 30 times in a row. News reporter outside the tower asks them the reason behind their failure. Black Witch came forward and revealed that they did not lack the skills, but they were unlucky. Flame Emperor appears and finds this an excuse as he clears the 10th floor easily, getting the attention of people present there. He calls them pushovers and reveals that luck is a skill. In the future, Flame Emperor was able to clear the 10th floor easily, just because he had the skill that allowed him to return in time after his death. We then returned to Kim, who was standing between the kids inside the building. The fire was everywhere. The method to clear the 10th floor is simple. Kim has to find the real kid among them and destroy it. The fire inside the mansion was not an ordinary fire, as it was hellfire made with aura. No matter how much aura you wrap around yourself to form a barrier, they can only survive 10 minutes inside the mansion. But for hunters who have the fiery powers, this hellfire has no effect. This was the reason behind the Flame Emperor's success on the 10th floor. Kim was also struggling to withstand the aura. Sword Emperor taunts him and reveals that Marcus was able to spend 30 minutes there, but he wants to increase his time limit. But Kim can only spend 10 minutes there. Kim was thinking of clearing the floor on the second attempt. Sword Emperor informs him about the methods to clear the floor, but Kim has other plans. He waits until he dies, and then he will find the kid who wins. He decides to play with the kid for fun, but as he grabs the kid melts and Kim gets shocked. The time limit exceeds and Kim dies. After his death, Sword Emperor points toward a card and says, "This is the jackpot." The skill is a fire hall barrier, allowing him to create an aura of hellfire around him in 2 kilometers, and nobody can escape without his permission. Flame Emperor starts convincing him, but he has other thoughts and tells Sword Emperor to read another card. Sword Emperor read the skills on the card, which were A or B rank skills. Kim does not listen to the Sword Emperor and quickly chooses an A rank skill. The skill allows him to burn the target of his choice, and damage from water and ice type increases to 300%. Kim was happy and thought to return. But there is a twist. A penalty occurs due to skill. He has to reface the trauma of the enemy who killed him. In the end, we saw a pop-up revealing the commencing of the penalty as it recreates the monster Hellfire Maiden's trauma.